In the land of Egypt there arose a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph. And the children of Israel were many, and they filled the land, and Pharaoh looked upon them with fear. Behold, he said, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies. And so Egypt laid upon Israel the heaviest of burdens. They set taskmasters over them. They afflicted them with hard bondage. In mortar and in brick, in all manner of service in the field, the children of God groaned under the hand of a kingdom that had forgotten his name. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied. And the Egyptians were grieved because of the children of Israel. So Pharaoh gave a command most terrible. Every son born to the Hebrews was to be cast into the river Nile. Every daughter alone was to be saved alive. Into this darkness a child was born. His mother looked upon him and saw that he was goodly, and she hid him 3 months. When she could hide him no more, she took an ark of bulrushes, daubed it with slime and with pitch, and she laid the child therein. She placed him among the flags by the river's brink, and his sister stood afar off to watch what would become of him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river. She saw the ark among the flags, and sent her maid to fetch it. When she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept, and she had compassion on him. This is one of the Hebrews' children, she said. Then came his sister forward and said, Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee? And Pharaoh's daughter said, Go. And the maid went and called the child's own mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, Take this child away, and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses, saying, Because I drew him out of the water. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and in deeds. He walked in the courts of the greatest kingdom on earth. He knew its gods and its glory. He sat at the table of princes. Yet within him stirred something that no palace could silence, the knowledge of who he truly was. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens. And he saw an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. He looked this way and that way, and when he saw there was no man, he slew the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand. But the thing became known. When Pharaoh heard of it, he sought to slay Moses. And Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh, and dwelt in the land of Midian. In Midian, Moses sat down by a well. There came the 7 daughters of the priest of Midian to draw water, and the shepherds drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them, and watered their flock. And when they came to their father, he said, How is it that ye are come so soon today? And they answered, An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds. And Jethro, the priest of Midian, gave Moses his daughter Zipporah to wife. And she bore him a son, and he called his name Gershom, saying, I have been a stranger in a strange land. The years passed. The palace was a lifetime away. Moses tended the flock of his father-in-law in the wilderness, a prince become a shepherd, a man the world had forgotten. But God had not forgotten him. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And God said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For I know their sorrows, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. Then came the words that would change the course of history. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto God, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And God said, Certainly I will be with thee. Still Moses hesitated. They will not believe me, he said. They will say, The Lord hath not appeared unto thee. And the Lord said unto him, What is that in thine hand? And he said, A rod. And God said, Cast it on the ground. And Moses cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said, Put forth thine hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand again. Still Moses was not finished with his doubts. O my Lord, he said, I am not eloquent. I am slow of speech, and of a slow tongue. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well. He shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and thou shalt be to him instead of God. And Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of God in his hand. The prince had become a shepherd. The shepherd was now becoming something the world had never seen. A deliverer, chosen not for his eloquence, nor his power, nor his confidence, but because God had heard the cries of his people, and the time had come. The burning bush still smoldered on the mountain. The rod of God was in his hand, and Egypt lay ahead. Part 2. Let my people go, coming soon. Told from Scripture.